So, I just finished uploading my video on the ELYON impressions, and I just found out that ELYON is now going free to play, which is interesting. Now, in that video, in the impressions, I mentioned I wasn't going to go too in-depth on the Ruby store, because I had heard behind the scenes that there would be some changes to ELYON. I thought when they said business model changes that they meant stuff on the Ruby store would change, which it probably is going to at this point. But I didn't realize it meant the game was going to go free to play. So yeah, I woke up to this statement. It's clear that 2021 has been the year of the MMO, with some fantastic entries being released. Whilst we feel that ELYON can hold its weight with any of them, they don't feel this way. Otherwise they wouldn't be going free to play. We also understand that the time invested required for an MMORPG is not compatible with an abundance of choice, which is true. Playing more than one MMO takes up a lot of time. I definitely understand that because I've been doing that a lot. So after some heavy consideration, we have decided to make some changes to our business model and make ELYON free to play. We will be offering compensation to all our pre-order players, and further details will be found on our website post on this topic. To quickly go over that post, they talk about how you will keep all the benefits that you got in the initial package, but instead of the game, you will get a certain amount of credits depending on which package, or it's not credits, rubies, depending on which package you paid for. So I think the smallest package gets you like 2,000 rubies or something. Either way, you can also request a refund, which I would never really recommend pre-ordering a game anyway. I was going to buy this on launch, but I guess now I'm not going to be doing that. Although we've made this change, we wish to reiterate that our vision for the cash shop that is contained within ELYON has not altered, and our intent is not to use this as justification to add pay-to-win mechanics. Now, while I'm sure they can say this, I don't know how true that's going to be. Again, I will look at the Ruby shop when the game comes out, because I'm definitely going to be playing it. But I'll give it a look. Generally, how things go is if the game doesn't meet expectations, they need to add more egregious forms of monetization in the game. One of which being pay-to-win. We're probably going to see a lot of pay-to-convenience stuff go into the game, as you see in a lot of other MMOs, where I'm just not a big fan of the pay-to-convenience thing. It's not pay-to-win, guys, it's pay-to-convenience. I'm not a fan of that, but we'll see. Unfortunately, due to these changes, it's necessary for us to delay the game to prepare back-end systems and make the required changes. The new release date for ELYON will be October 20th. While this wasn't an easy decision, we feel it is ultimately the correct one. For anyone disappointed, particularly those who pre-ordered or marked time off their calendar to dive into ELYON this September, we deeply regret causing this disruption to you. We hope you understand our intent is to bring you the best ELYON we possibly can. Love, the ELYON team. I added that bit at the end. That wasn't actually in there. But it's kind of worrying. Whenever a game goes free to play, it's not a great sign, because it means there's going to be a lot more forms of monetization on the game. Free-to-play games in general tend to make a lot more money, just because they have so many little ways they can monetize, but I won't get too deep into that. What this does mean is the game probably wasn't meeting expectations, whether it came to the amount of people playing the beta, because as I said in my impressions video, I'm fairly certain I mentioned, they were throwing out beta keys to pretty much everyone. Like, anyone could get in if they wanted to. It was practically an open beta, but I didn't really see a ton of people. And it feels like the game hasn't been marketed very well, or just, I haven't seen a ton of people, especially on the, especially big content creators or people on that side of things. You've not seen a lot of people taking interest in the game, which doesn't bode too well. Also, pre-orders probably didn't meet expectations. They probably had an amount of pre-orders in mind, and then if they didn't meet it, they probably were going to go the free-to-play route, because this is something that, as I'd heard behind the scenes, was potentially in the works anyway. So I think either way, this was gonna happen. Now, I know for certain people, free-to-play is actually a good thing. It means they can actually try out the game, which is nice, but usually it's not a good sign for an MMO when they're deciding to go free-to-play in such a it feels like such a split decision they've made. Obviously, there's been a few weeks or months where they've planned this beforehand. But yeah, it's not a great sign. Like, ideally, if I had a lot of money, I'd prefer a subscription game where I could buy it and also pay a recurring fee each month. I think that's the best model for most MMOs. I think buy-to-play, typically you see, it's like free-to-play, except, you know, I feel like it progresses a little slower than free-to-play games with how much monetization they throw in. Again, though, I'm going to give this a shot. I'm definitely going to check it out, and I will give my thoughts when the game actually releases as well. And I'm going to keep my eye on it, so I'll let you guys know how it goes over time. And hopefully it's fine. You know, hopefully this is a good thing for the game. I'm hoping it does bring in a lot more people, and hopefully they see bigger numbers than they did in the beta, because I think the game does have potential to be fun, even if it's for a couple of months. But yeah, we'll just have to see. So yeah, that's it for this video. Again, just wanted to talk about this going free to play because I just put out my impressions and I felt like I needed to address this since it just came out. But thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all the usual YouTube stuff, and I will see you all in the next video.